Right folks, welcome back. So we've been doing a bit of everything this weekend. Had the Range Rover fixed earlier in the week. Quad bike's been away and got fixed to a certain extent. It's still got a problem with the dashboard, but it's starting and running and it doesn't drain the battery anymore. It's got an issue with the ECUs. There's 3 ECUs and basically you struggle to get the parts in the UK, so the only option I've really got is to find somebody came to see me there. So the only other option I've got is really to find a scrap quad bike the same and just use it for parts. So we're on the lookout for a scrap Polaris bike of that age, so it's like a Polaris 330, so a Magnum or a Trail Boss. That quad bike there is quite rare. There's not really any Trail Bosses in the UK. I missed out on a Magnum the other day. There was one at Carlisle on a farm that was a problem with the 4-wheel drive, but it literally sold in a few hours, so that's what's happening just now. Quad bikes have gone through the roof because the new ones, I think a new Polaris quad bike like that's about 10.5 grand now, and I think they were 3 grand new, so everything's gone mental. So anyway, we've been doing a bit of everything. I'll turn the camera around and show everybody. So basically I've had a couple of Saturday boys helping me. So they've been working on the Land Rover and I've been doing the solar system. So I'm just doing it bit by bit because everything costs money and you know it takes time to get some of these bits. So these are the Victron bus bars. I've not got the cover on just now because I'm using them upside down. I've got to put a different sticker on. And I'm just working away on my own doing the cables, and I'm trying to do it as tidy as you can. So obviously this is the battery side with the cutout switches, so I've put a cutout on the neutral and one on the positive. I'm clipping them with these bands to just try and make it look tidy. So out of this end I've got the Outback inverter, and then I'll have the Chinese inverter, and then on the next bus bar I'll have the Victron inverter. So that'll leave me a couple of spare spaces, but that just allows for expansion or for things to go wrong. We've got these Outback charge controllers, so we'll have number 1 in here, number 2 there, and then, although it's chucked in the box in a corner, I've just actually bought another one of these off eBay cheap. Somebody was asking, I think it was on Facebook, how you find like the second-hand equipment. Now obviously to some people it seems obvious and some people it isn't. So I just set up search alerts on the likes of eBay, and you know it drops into, like, I get a notification. So when somebody's listed something with the name Outback or Victron, I get notified. Now if it's something I'm looking at, I'll watch it and I'll maybe place a cheeky bid or send them an offer, and if it's not, I just ignore it. So a lot of this stuff, you know, like this stuff up there, I've bought over like a year period, and like the solar panels I bought 2 years ago. So if you can be patient and wait, you pick the bargains up. And you know, like that Outback solar charge controller there is brand new in the box. It's never been used, and I paid £275. Now I think they're about 650 off Bimble Solar just now, so it was a fair saving for being patient and just having the money ready when you need to buy something. So yeah, we're working our way down. Got the battery cables there. I'm going to have to put the mega fuses in this battery box and get a couple of battery switches, but it's moving on. Now what else have we been doing? So we've been working on the Land Rover. Now the chassis hasn't come yet, so I don't want to make the Land Rover so it doesn't start and run. So we're just stripping it down slowly and gently. So we took the spare wheel carrier off the back first. I had quite a lot of problems with that because it's quite corroded, as everything is. We've stripped all the carpets out of the back, the aluminium checker plate off the floor. I want to get back to the bones of it and make it clean and check for any corrosion and just make sure everything's done right. We've then took the headlining out. It's just so we can get like these lights off. I had young Mitchell taking the extension mudguards off, so he's took them off, and then we've been stripping the stickers, and this was the hardest part. So we've been using a combination of approaches. We tried a heat gun, but with it being aluminium, the aluminium was warping. So we had to kind of give up on the heat gun, and we had to go back to using the caramel wheel, which is the rubber wheel that I showed in the last video. We got quite a lot of it off with the caramel wheel and lessened it. And then what we did, we started using petrol. So we've wiped it all with petrol, and that's melted most of it. And then I'd got some wire brushes. Somebody suggested, I think it was on the last YouTube video, to use a wire brush. So these aren't very good. They're just really cheap, nasty little wire brushes out of Screwfix. They're only a couple of quid for a set. So we've been using these 3 different wire brushes, and we've wire brushed most of the stickers off. The only thing is, like, this back panel here has got a lot of filler, so it's took quite a lot of the filler down. But it doesn't really matter because we'll be refinishing it. So I think the cat's made a home in here. We've also put the spare wheel on, just so we can get it into the workshop. Some of the bits on this, although it looks rusty, are in amazing condition. The back axle's not actually leaking any oil, the brakes are good, the brake pads, even the calipers are working. So it does show you good old British engineering. Front axle's a bit leaky, that'll have to be rebuilt, but that's basically where we're at. So we've had 2 boys all day just stripping and working on it. I just think it's a lot easier to get the stickers off and sand the paint down while the roof's on, rather than trying to do it on the floor. You know, it'll save you back. And I'll drop some videos into the quad bike if anybody's interested now. Working of a fashion. Well, she's working and she's road legal and all the lights are working, so she's good to go on the pub. So we go down the pub in. So anyway, that's all I've got for this weekend, folks. So it's a bit of everything, but that's what we're doing just now. I've got a couple of young lads helping me just now at the weekend. James is away working elsewhere, so that's why the solar system's on a bit of a go slow. When he's back helping me, we'll be able to get the solar panels on the roof and kind of get this tidied up and finished. But thanks for sticking with us, and we'll see you next time.